I mean,
you got no chance.
Oh. Somehow she's geared for like 90 miles an hour.
One of these cylinders is gonna have a bent valve. Right there. This is gonna be very rough.
All right, man, let's race. Come on. Thank you to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video.
What's up, you guys? Today on CarsandCameras.
We built two 4-cylinder rat rods, and today on CarsandCameras, they're going head to head.
I'm driving this little Tikes car that we powered with a 550 Honda engine that I found in a basement, and this is one of our sweetest sounding projects that we've ever built.
And I'm driving this crusty old wheelbarrow powered by a 525cc 4-cylinder supercharged engine we picked up from the military surplus store. We're gonna race both of these projects around our new track, Cartona. But first, we're gonna start things off with a drag race and then some upgrades.
So we were noticing that this thing wasn't running right. So we're gonna be going through the carburetors. Am I free for spaghetti Saturday night? I don't have anything lined up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what?
Hey! What are you doing over there? Get away from here! Hey, this is my phone number. So much for my spaghetti date. This is my birthday. And my grandmother's address. What kind of creep wants my grandmother's address?
I know. Data brokers. If you have any online accounts, there's a high chance your personal data has been sold. Today's video sponsor, Delete Me, is here to help you maintain control of your online presence because you have the right to privacy and protection of your personal data.
Data brokers are corporations that collect huge amounts of personal information from sources like public records and social media. They organize, analyze, and license the data and sell it to other data brokers or other organizations with an interest in the data.
Data brokers can have access to your address, phone number, even GPS location, credit score, health records, and so much more, which can have serious consequences. Electronic financial scams, stalking, and increased risk of identity theft. This personal information can be sold for as little as 1 penny per individual. That's right, 1 cent. I like that Delete Me doesn't rely on an automated process. Real human agents are used to handle these crucial security issues, like finding and removing your personal information from data brokers. After they run these regular analyses to find where your information has been exposed, Delete Me provides you with a comprehensive report detailing where your information has been found and deleted. This easy-to-read report even shows you these fishy sites by name and how long it'll take to remove your information from their possession. So get 20% off Delete Me consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/carsandcameras and use promo code CarsandCameras at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/carsandcameras, code CarsandCameras. Keep your personal information yours. Thank you again to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video and for helping us stay secure online. Let's get back and adjust those carbs. Dicey. Oh, that was insane. Woo! It's no clouds, but man, my CVT just slipped. Man, you did a nice job keeping that thing straight, dude.
Hey, thank you. That was sketchy.
What's it like driving this thing for the first time?
It's an experience. Yeah. It's fun. It's a handful. Everything's doing something. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Everything is doing something.
So our 525cc supercharged 4-cylinder just got smoked by a slightly larger engine. Why? Because the 4A032 military engine, built for ruggedness and reliability, makes just 6 horsepower from the factory. But today, we're gonna change that. So the big issue we've had with this setup in the past is belt slip. Basically, this supercharged 4-cylinder engine is overpowering this 40 series torque converter. This bad boy is only rated up for 18 horsepower. Well, Go Power Sports just hooked us up with the bigger version of this, the 780 torque converter. This is rated for up to 30 horsepower. We've pushed it past 30 before and it's fine, but comfortably, conservatively, 30 horsepower. The challenge with this setup is getting it to fit because it is much larger than the 40 series that's going to come out. So it's a big job. We got to take the tub off. We got to remove the steering, the battery, probably the exhaust. Also, we can fit these new massive components in here. I'm going to link these in the video description if you want to check them out for your own V-twin 420, 459 powered go-kart mini bike or otherwise. We love this setup. Now it's just a matter of getting it in there. So after looking this thing over, we've decided that removing the engine is gonna be easier than pulling the steering, the tub, the battery, disconnecting all of our air lines. So, got ourselves an exotic here, Zach.
Yeah, we do.
Engine out service. All right. So the CVT is now free. It's just 4 engine mounts, and this whole engine should be able to come up and over so we can get the driver off. I mean, I've seen worse. Yeah, could have guessed that.
Yep.
Really on there. So here's the big challenge. These two are what we pulled off, and what's going back on is substantially larger. And like the packaging on this vehicle is super tight. So that's gonna be a big challenge. But before we start mocking things up, I'm gonna show you guys a quick performance modification you can do to one of these drivers if you have a higher RPM engine like this one. So altering the weights in your CVT driver is today's Cars and Cameras tech tip. We're gonna pull this thing apart and I'll show you exactly what I mean. There you go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. These pinch together with more engine RPM, and that's what squeezes the belt and changes your gear ratio. So these 3 rollers are tuned to a specific weight, and that determines your stall speed, or basically how well this thing shifts off the line. If we reduce the weight of these rollers by removing some simple washers, we can increase that stall, which is going to give us better hole shots. So I would only do this on a higher RPM engine, like this thing revs out to 7,000. If you have a 4,000 RPM engine, I would leave it alone. But since we're going for performance and RPM with this build, we're going to remove these 2 washers, and it's going to give us just a little bit more stall speed, and it's going to launch out of the hole a little bit better. Hardest part about this whole mod is not pinching your fingers. Super simple. Just removing these washers, putting the nut back. Here's the second one. And we're just putting it right back together. Just this little bit of reduced weight is gonna help increase our stall just a little bit. And there's the third and final. Now we can reassemble, get some new Loctite on these bolts, and start to mock it up.
Alright, what we gotta do to get this thing into our wheelbarrow
It's absolutely massive.
is remove a lot of material. But we have to make it go up and out so that it clears everything and our exhaust. So we're just gonna make that happen.
Fingers. Yep.
Watch out.
All right. Scooch you forward a little bit. Uppies. Uppies a little minus. The bottom of the engine. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Plenty of clearance.
Right there. Plenty of clearance for the exhaust. So now we just need to start putting this back, add a ton of metal to it, and this is going to be what carries the secondary. So we're still deciding where that big driven pulley is going to go, but I'm going to go ahead and tack weld in some new hangers for our jack shaft.
So this has been a royal pain to install. The difference in size between the 40 series and the 780, it's a pretty big difference. So we're having to re-engineer everything here because it's just a different size. We had to build the cart, the wheelbarrow around our drive line. But with the larger pulley, it's going to give us a wider range of speed. We should have higher top speed, and it ought to have a better hole shot.
Sweet. Are you shaking in your boots?
Not even close, buddy. You got no chance.
Oh, all right. Well, we're not done yet.
You gonna put NOS on it or something?
Just wait.
2 of the big ones?
Just wait. This thing is looking awesome, though. It is, like, it's looking purpose-built, dude. It's big.
It's good.
What a unit, boys.
Oh man, it's pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome. Our wheelbarrow is back together. That was a job. But you know what? Like, it looks proportional to the rest of the build now. This thing is an absolute beast. And you know what I didn't think about that Ike pointed out? We're probably gonna get better performance, like out of the whole shot and top end with this new 780 torque converter. So let's fire it up, see what it sounds like.
I hope the battery's good because we've been airing up the suspension a lot.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dude, yeah, it's faster. The only thing I don't like is it really needs a little bit more stall to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Removing the driver is like removing the engine.
Nah, I mean, can't you get to it from in there? Like,
Oh, just do it in the freaking engine?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it really does need some stall.
A little more.
Yeah, a lot more actually.
All right, this thing shifting looked great. Had a lot of wheel speed. This thing is gonna absolutely rip.
Yep.
You scared yet?
No, I'm not worried at all, dude. I got gears.
Good, okay, because we're not done yet. You go on home and don't worry about what we're doing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we got it.
I'm still not scared. I got gears.
So you heard the stall this thing had with the new 780 torque converter setup. You heard how low it was. As soon as you start hitting the throttle, it takes off. Well, I went ahead and replaced the hardware with titanium in the driver. So all 3 of these bolts I just put in are about the same weight as one of the ones that I took out. So that less weight is gonna help with stall. So let's fire it up and see if we can tell a difference. I think it's gonna be hard to tell until we get it on the ground. Gotta turn the choke off. There we go. created a bad leak. Can you hear that?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yep.
When we were messing with our area down here, so we bought some more airline. We need to go ahead and replace that. You know, putting this different CVT on it, the gearing is much taller now, so it feels like you could go near about 80 miles an hour. So we need to change the gear somewhere on this setup. Other than that, it's great. So we've solved one problem and created another. Our CVT can hold a ton of power now. However, we realized our gearing is just way off. Going up and down the road, I only saw 4,500 RPM, where we used to see 7,000 with the old CVT, just because it was overpowering it and blowing right to red line. So we're gonna make a substantial gearing change and give it another go. You think we're gonna overshoot it, man? That's like 4 teeth on a small sprocket is like a ton. I say we give it a shot.
Let's get it installed.
All right. Oh.
That thing is geared high, dude.
Yeah.
That thing, all we did was change the torque converter. And I would figure that the pulleys would make it lower gear ratio, and wow, it seems to have done something I wasn't expecting.
Just made it that tall so the smaller one would work, right? Wow.
Dude, you didn't even hit your top speed.
Dude, somehow she's geared for like 90 miles an hour.
I don't understand it.
Me neither. 3,600 RPM. It used to hit 7,000. It's because we were blowing the belt off and we thought it was fine, but now that we have power that, like a CVT that can hold the power,
I guess so.
turns out our gearing was like way off.
All right.
I mean, if you look at our tire to sprocket ratio back here, it's like all wrong, but it just always worked.
All right, so we need to try to go with a sprocket on the back as big as we can.
Yeah.
Ooh. But then we got to make sure it doesn't eat anything when we lower it.
Back to the drawing board. Do you want to go or no?
I don't need to. Did you get that on camera?
Yeah, I think you did. So our 780 torque converter holds the power like a champ compared to the 40 series. Problem is, it's geared to go Bonneville land speed racing. Changing the gearing on this thing is very difficult. And plus, why change the gearing when you can add horsepower? So we had an idea. These cylinder heads are extremely restrictive on this 4A032 engine. Our buddy Jack Keller actually sent us some cylinder heads, and the ports are tiny and the valve springs are really, really weak. So we think we can get in here, pull them off, do a good port and polish job, and add some stiffer springs and unlock some serious horsepower. Let's get in there and I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Bud, you can do all you want, but you ain't coming close to my 550 cozy coupe.
All I can do is try, man.
What are you doing?
I'm pulling the cylinder heads off this side so we can see if we can work some magic to them and free up some horsepower.
Oh yeah?
So we're pulling off we're loosening the intake runners here, pulling off the valve covers to get to the head bolts.
So we are ready to pull the cylinder head off. Whoa. That was pretty easy.
I did 80% of the work.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So I've never had one of these apart before. So we have some push rod tubes here, kind of like a Volkswagen air-cooled Beetle, except these push rod tubes are usually underneath. Well, not usually, they're all underneath on the Beetle. These are on top, which is pretty cool because I think that cuts down on some of the oil leaks possibly. Look, the valves are definitely hitting from us over revving it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Wow.
So we have a valve float going on. So this is a good thing we're replacing the valve springs. Okay, so I'm gonna spray a little brake clean in here. Ah, we're good. No bent valve there. What I did was I filled up the exhaust port with some brake clean, and if it had a bent valve, it would just come right out. One of these cylinders is gonna have a bent valve, I guarantee you. All right, so these valves are not bent. However, the intake and exhaust ports are so poorly, well, they're really restrictive. So we're gonna do a little massaging. We're gonna open them up a bit so we can get a little bit better airflow, because the more air we can get in and the more air we can get out, the better performance. Air in, air out. We want to get the most performance we can out of this. Look at the size of this port and how the stud is poking inside the port. Ideally, we'd want to shave the end of that stud so the fuel and air can get in without having something that has to go around. On the exhaust, we're just gonna open up the exhaust port some and allow the air to kind of make a nice little archy flow thing rather than going because like I said, the better the air can flow in and out, the better performance you're gonna get. All right, let's get to cutting, dude.
Yeah, we'll just pull the cylinder heads, just give them a quick little port and polish. It won't be too bad. Yikes.
Hey man, let me show you something. So we got the valves here. They're pretty small, and look at the size of the stem of the valve. So I'm gonna show you a little trick I learned way back in the day, is how to get more flow into your cylinder. The one on my left, your right, I cut down right there the stem of the valve. This allows more air to get by the valve stem, allows more air flow. So it's a quick, easy way to get better flow. Now we're gonna work on porting the cylinder head. I'm gonna start by going right down in where the valve goes, and I'm gonna clean up down in there. I'm not really going bigger on this. We're just basically cleaning everything up so the air and fuel and exhaust just kind of flows through as easy as possible. So I'm pretty happy with what we've done. I would have been a lot happier if we could have shaved the head, but these studs are not removable. When they put them in, they used a machine to spread the end of the stud, which makes it impossible to pull out without damaging the head. So we are not shaving the head, and that's okay. It's boosted, it'll be fine. If we have any issues, we'll just add more boost, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so not low compression engines love boost or nitrous, stuff like that. They really come alive. So this is what I've done so far. I've opened up the port a little bit. Mainly what I've done is I shaped it to allow the air to kind of flow through rather than hitting a wall and creating an issue. So
it should give us more horsepower.
It should definitely give us more horsepower, probably more on the top end, higher end than grunt. So what I've done is just going to let it breathe better and allow the higher RPMs, to really give you something. So we're going to lube everything up and start the assembly. So we made a discovery. We wanted stiffer valve springs. So what we have here is Go Power Sports 10K valve springs. They fit perfect in this head. And this is going to allow us to be able to turn the engine harder and not worry about the valves smacking the pistons. We did make a slight modification. These valve springs, they come with dual springs. We took the inners out and we're only using the outers because it does still fit and the spring is still stiffer than the ones that came out of it. The ones that came out of it were probably only meant to turn maximum RPM of what, 4,000 RPM?
Yep.
These
we were
engines,
spinning 7.
oh yeah, we were turning them 7. So I was not surprised seeing marks on the pistons, little smiley faces saying a happy engine, right?
Yeah.
Yes, a turning engine is a happy engine.
It's a nice tool.
That one's upside down. That happens. There we go.
All right, ported, new springs, ready for reassembly.
She is ready to turn 10K.
Woo!
I believe that this thing has either a bent valve or a burnt valve. You notice that valve right there is a lot wider than the other one?
Oh, yeah.
That means it's been getting hotter, which makes me think that we have a something leaking. I'm gonna put some fluid in it and let's see if it comes out. Is there a leak?
Nope. Does sure look
Look at
wet.
that. It's wet. It's running out. So we most likely have a bent valve because of the valve hitting the piston. Every single cylinder had an exhaust valve hit the piston, and it was just a matter of time till we found one that had a little bit of bend to it. So I'm not even going to bother working on that cylinder head. I'm going to do this cylinder head right here. This one, the valve doesn't look like it's been overheated, so this is the one I'm going to be working on next. So we've got all our heads ported and our valve springs installed. Now I'm going to be installing the head gasket and putting it together. I really think that this thing might sound a little different than what it did before.
From a performance standpoint, or just because it doesn't have bent valves anymore standpoint?
I think it might have a little performance gain with what I did with the valves.
Yeah.
Cutting them down, we're going to get a little bit more air and fuel into each cylinder. How much? Probably not much, but I think it's going to sound a little different. I think it's going to sound meaner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do believe we have this cylinder right here has got a valve that wants to open when I tighten it. Click.
Only 12 foot-pounds is what the manual calls for.
Click. Click. Nice.
All right.
Boys, the head work is done. Let's see how she sounds.
like the individual fire better now. Yeah. Sounds awesome, man.
Why does it sound so different?
I don't know, like, we just did a little head work. We didn't even shave the heads.
God, I would have loved to shave the head.
I mean, maybe another time we can get our hands on some more cylinder heads and really go to town on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for what we did today, valve springs and a little just smoothing and port work, it's going to go a long way. The wheelbarrow is sounding better than ever. It's making more power than ever. And now we have the transmission to put all that power to the tires. This thing is ready to smack the cozy. What is going on over here, dude? What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
You get back. You can't just take my wheels. All right, we're gonna have to find some new tires. I think he's looking to even the playing field. Anyway, once I get my hands on some new wheels and tires, this thing is gonna spank that cozy coupe in the drag race redemption round and around Cartona.
That thing is sounding pretty good and performing really good. I figured I need a little bit extra help on this cart to try to keep up with that one. And I think this might be the key. Right there. Looking good.
Oh man, where'd you steal those front wheels from?
Bolt cart.
What?
Stole those from the bolt cart.
All right, so you're sweating it a little bit. All right.
Am I?
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
We'll definitely settle it out there in the field. You're going down.
Well, I've got some upgraded tires of my own. Go Power Sports just sent over these 8-inch wheels on 22-inch tires. These things are gonna eat, son. They're huge and they're cushy. So I'm gonna have like the plushest ride out there, and it's gonna look incredible and hook up incredible at the same time. You ain't gonna stand a chance. I am a little bit worried about my gearing. With taller tires, this thing's gonna be going 130 miles an hour, but I got the wheelbase, I got the suspension, I got the supercharger. I'm in good shape here. So we're doing our pre-race checks here, kind of figuring out how we want to race. We're thinking we're gonna run a drag race, and then we're gonna do 2 laps around our small scale version of Daytona we call Cartona. He doesn't have suspension. This is gonna be highly entertaining.
This is gonna be very rough. I'm a little worried.
Oh yeah, we are good on oil. Let me check my fuel. We can get these things warming up. All right, man, win, lose, draw. We both got some sweet machines, but you're going down. Let's head to the drag race spot. Is looking really fast, I gotta say. I don't think I'm gonna have them. Dude, this thing is just sitting here shaking. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm gonna win the drag race.
I already know you're not gonna win the drag race.
Fast.
Yeah.
Then plus it's geared for 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, this one's geared for like
65.
65.
Yeah. And it gets there in a hurry. All right, man, let's race.
All right.
I'm gonna have to jump the light the only way. Come on, baby. That was good. Man, that wasn't even close. Ah, wasn't even close. You know, the gearing is so tall and we put it uphill, it's just, it was never gonna win. Plus he has gears, but I have a better feeling with Kartona.
Oh yeah, you came flying down it this way.
I just wanted to hear it open up a little bit.
Oh, it was great.
Even then, it was only doing like 4,000 RPM.
How did the engine mods feel? Can you tell anything?
I mean, it sounds better.
That's all that counts, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the gearing so tall.
Yeah.
You want inside lane or outside lane?
I don't care. You're gonna get in front of me.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. No hole shot. All right, buddy, ready for 2 laps around Kartona?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
On your mark, get set, go!
I got him on the jump, baby. I got him on the jump. Oh, here it comes. Oh, he's moving. Oh, come on. Oh. Are you okay? That was a shockingly close race.
Oh.
That was a close race, dude.
Dude, I hurt so bad.
You jumped it.
Everything on my body hurts.
This is the first time this has ever really been off-road, so we had fueling issues and our gearing is just so far off. We need to fix it.
Yeah, the gearing is
would've had
terrible. I saw you smoke the belt.
Yeah.
So that thing is geared for like 80 miles per hour.
Big time.
It'd be perfect for like a drag strip.
Yep. And that is totally a fish out of water.
Yeah.
No suspension, stubby, high center of gravity, but dude, you wheeled it. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you. I was 100% positive I was gonna lose on the race. The drag race, I had it in the bag. I got gears.
I think you might catch a redemption round sometime here on Cars and Cameras, but before we end, dude, I want to hop on that.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to.
I do. It looks like a lot of fun. It's a rough ride right here, buddy. It's a rough ride.
It is so bad.
But for a swap meet cruiser, something that was never meant to be off-road, it was a lot of fun.
This thing going around the track was like, it was lacking so much. The gearing was burning up the belt the majority of the time. But man, when this thing started going, it was like a freight train. I was freight training in front of you, dude.
Yeah, it's fast. But, so this just means we need to do another round of upgrades on the wheelbarrow. You'll see it right here on Cars and Cameras. Thank y'all for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you next time.
I really think that this thing would have beat that with the right gearing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks like we are free and clear of data brokers. To get your data removed from the internet, check out Delete Me via our link in the video description for 20% off. Thanks again to Delete Me. We'll catch you next time.
Look on the ground.
There's a snake on the ground.
Did we remember the master lane?